Wanda's reaction in this situation shows that this is no longer just simple reality TV drama. It has moved into something more personal and more intense. What we are seeing is not just someone reacting to comments online. It is a mother reacting to how her child is being talked about in public. That kind of reaction does not come from a calm place. It comes from emotion, protection, and a feeling that something has gone too far. When Wanda went live, it did not feel planned or controlled. It felt real and immediate. Her tone, her words, and her energy all showed that she was deeply affected. The main issue for her was not just what happened on the show. It was what people were saying afterward. The blogs, the comments, and the opinions started to shift from simple criticism into something more personal. That is where she felt the line was crossed. There is a big difference between criticizing someone's actions and attacking their character. Wanda made it clear that she can handle people having opinions about her daughter's behavior. But when those opinions turn into labels that question who her daughter is as a person, that is when things change. That is when the situation becomes emotional instead of just public. From Wanda's point of view, her daughter is being misunderstood. She believes that people are not seeing the full picture. She feels like the audience is judging based on what is shown, without knowing what is happening behind the scenes. That feeling creates frustration, and that frustration turns into anger. But the way Wanda responds also creates another problem. While she is trying to defend her daughter, her actions are making the situation bigger. When she talks about confrontation, when she raises her voice, and when she pushes back strongly, it does not stop the conversation. It actually brings more attention to it. This is one of the biggest challenges in reality TV. The more you react, the more people talk. Silence can sometimes calm things down, but strong reactions often do the opposite. They create more discussion, more opinions, and more attention. Now shifting to Leticia, her approach is very different. Instead of reacting loudly, she is choosing a quieter method. Her message about the truth coming out later shows that she believes time will clear things up. She is not trying to explain everything right now. She is letting things play out. This kind of approach can be powerful, but it also has risks. When someone stays quiet, people start filling in the gaps themselves. They create their own ideas about what is happening. And those ideas are not always correct. In reality TV, what is not said can be just as important as what is said. Leticia's silence may be part of a bigger plan. She may believe that reacting to everything will only make things worse. She may be trying to avoid adding more fuel to the situation. But at the same time, that silence allows others to control the narrative. Another important detail is the idea that not everything is shown on screen. Wanda hinted at conversations that happened off camera. This is something that changes how the audience sees everything. If viewers feel like they are not getting the full story, they start questioning what they are watching. Reality TV is edited. It is shaped to tell a certain story. That does not mean it is fake, but it does mean it is not complete. When people start to realize this, they begin to look at everything differently. They question motives, decisions, and even relationships. Now, bringing Arion into the situation adds another layer. Her presence is not loud, but it is noticeable. The way she posts and interacts is not direct, but it creates conversation. Her message about one monkey didn't stop no show was not clear, but it did not need to be. People understood that it was connected to the situation. This kind of indirect communication is very powerful. It allows someone to stay involved without fully stepping in. It creates curiosity and keeps people talking. Arion seems to understand this very well. She is not overexposing herself, but she is also not disappearing. Her other message about staying unseen until she reaches a goal suggests that she is thinking ahead. She is not just reacting to what is happening now. She is planning for what comes next. That kind of thinking shows awareness of how attention works in this space. Even when Martell is not directly involved, his presence is still felt. His past actions and his connections to others continue to influence the situation. This shows how strong certain storylines can be. They do not disappear easily. They continue to affect how people see everything else. The connection between all these individuals creates a network of emotions and reactions. Wanda is reacting as a mother. Leticia is responding in a more controlled way. Arion is moving carefully and strategically. And Martell's past continues to shape how everything is viewed. When you add in other figures like Bambi and Scrappy, it shows that these patterns are not limited to one group. Similar situations are happening in different places. People are dealing with relationships, emotions, and public attention in ways that are not always consistent. Scrappy talks about growth and peace, but his reactions show that he is still affected by certain situations. This is something many people can relate to. Saying you have moved on is one thing, but actually feeling that way is different. Bambi's position also shows uncertainty. Saying never say never leaves things open. It does not fully close the door. That kind of statement creates confusion because it does not give a clear answer. All of these situations connect in one important way. They show how people deal with emotions in public. When everything is being watched, every reaction becomes part of a bigger story. The audience plays a big role in this. They are not just watching, they are reacting, commenting, and sharing opinions. Those reactions become part of the situation. They influence how people feel and how they respond. This creates a cycle. The show creates moments, the audience reacts, the cast responds to those reactions, and then new moments are created. This cycle continues over and over again. Right now, Wanda is in a place where she is focused on protection. She is not thinking about strategy or public image. She is thinking about defending her daughter. That kind of mindset does not allow for calm decisions. It leads to strong reactions. For this situation to calm down, something would need to change. Either the reactions would need to slow down, or the way people respond would need to shift. But right now, that does not seem to be happening. As long as emotions stay high, the situation will continue. Every new comment, every new post, and every new reaction will add to it. This is how reality TV drama grows and stays active. In the end, this is not just about one argument or one moment. It is about how people handle pressure, attention, and emotion when everything is public. It is about how narratives are created and how they spread. And most importantly, it shows that in this kind of environment, feelings do not stay quiet. They become part of the show. As the situation continues, the intensity does not slow down. Instead, it starts to spread into different directions, pulling more people and more opinions into the conversation. What began as a reaction from Wanda is now turning into a wider discussion about behavior, perception, and how each person involved is choosing to handle the pressure. One of the most noticeable things right now is how people are analyzing every small detail. Nothing is being ignored. Every post, every word, every reaction is being watched closely. This level of attention can make even small actions feel much bigger than they actually are. And in a space like reality television, where everything is already amplified, that attention can quickly turn into pressure. Wanda's energy still feels very strong, and it shows no signs of calming down. When someone is in a protective state of mind, especially as a parent, they are not thinking about how things look to the public. They are thinking about defending what matters to them. That is why her responses feel intense. They are coming from a place of emotion, not strategy. But the more emotional the response becomes, the more it invites reaction from others. People start to question not just what is being said, but how it is being said. They begin to focus on tone, delivery, and intention. This is where things can shift from support to criticism very quickly. At the same time, Leticia's quieter approach continues to stand out. She is not engaging in the same way, and that creates a contrast. While one side is loud and reactive, the other side is calm and controlled. This difference shapes how the audience sees both of them. Some people may view Leticia's silence as strength. They may see it as confidence and patience. Others may see it as avoidance. They may feel like she should speak more and address the situation directly. This split in opinion keeps the conversation active because there is no clear agreement. Another important factor is how quickly narratives are built. Once people decide what they believe, they start looking for evidence to support it. If someone believes Leticia is being treated unfairly, they will focus on moments that support that idea. If someone believes she is at fault, they will focus on moments that confirm that. This selective focus is very common. It helps people make sense of complex situations, but it can also create a one-sided view. Reality is usually more balanced, but it is harder to see when emotions are involved. Arionne's role in all of this continues to be interesting, because she is not fully stepping into the situation, but she is not staying out of it either. Her presence is subtle, but it is enough to keep people talking. This kind of involvement allows her to stay relevant without taking on the full pressure of being directly involved. Her timing also seems very intentional. She appears when the conversation is already active, adds something that creates curiosity, and then steps back again. This keeps her connected to the narrative without becoming the main focus. Martell's influence remains in the background, shaping how people interpret everything. Even without direct involvement, his past connections continue to affect the situation. This shows how certain relationships can leave a lasting impact that does not easily disappear.